don't get me wrong, I'm extremely grateful to have reached 300 subscribers on my YouTube channel. But the truth is, despite having reached that milestone recently, I haven't been feeling the best lately. I wanted to do this off-script video to sort of emphasise 2 points. The first being the reasons why I haven't been uploading that much throughout the past month or so. And the second being to address the fact that just because yourself or someone else has hit a milestone in terms of subscribers or just anything, followers, whatever, or has a lot of followers or subscribers, doesn't mean you or whoever that person is going to be happy. I constantly, time and time again, see people in the so-called theme park community on Instagram, when they're close to a milestone, constantly posting, can we get to this number of followers by this time? Can we get to this number of subscribers by this time? Can we get to this number of likes by this time? And it's just, do you really think that's going to make you that happy? You know, it might be, you know, the buzz, I've hit this number of likes or whatever, but trust me, I know from experience, on the grand scheme of things, like, it doesn't, like, yeah, you'll get a buzz from hitting however many followers or whatever you want to get, but, like, for me at least, it doesn't change my mental health. It doesn't move the needle in a positive direction for, you know, a sustained period of time. And, you know, the things that make me happy and my friends and, you know, yeah, stuff like that, not a number. Now, I don't want to make this video sound like it's all about me, because in actual fact, I want everyone to be able to relate to this. This is just me speaking from my experiences, but there are a number of reasons why I haven't been feeling the best over the past month that has caused me not to make videos and not to be happy that I've hit 300 subscribers as you might think I should be. So for those who don't already know, and this might actually seem very obvious, but I'll get into the specifics in a minute, my life has kind of come to a grinding halt over the past year. I am extremely clinically vulnerable to COVID, and therefore I've had to be extremely careful over the course of this pandemic. We've all obviously had to be careful, but I've had to be extra careful to the point where I haven't felt safe to basically go out until I got vaccinated, and then I obviously have been to parks since. So yeah, I've basically been trapped from, was trapped from sort of March last year until we came out of lockdown in March, April time. My first theme park trip since the pandemic began was on the 12th of April to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, just after I had received my second dose of the COVID vaccine and was therefore fully vaccinated, which obviously, with the vaccines reducing the risk, I felt safe again to go to parks. But beyond that, it's meant I've deferred university a year, and I'll actually be starting in September, and there'll be a video coming out in a few weeks about that and how that's going to affect the channel. And I've just been doing online courses for the past year and been stuck inside, which sort of caused me this time last year, or sort of May time, you know, sort of about 14 months ago, to think, what can I do with myself while I'm going to be stuck inside? And my mind, you know, immediately sort of went to this YouTube channel, because before then I wasn't taking YouTube that seriously. College was affecting how often I could upload, and I wasn't uploading that often. But I started getting proper serious with it, and I had this sudden urge to sort of grow the channel. And this isn't something I've really gone into before, but I started doing the typical thing of looking out how to grow the channel and stuff. And I found some useful stuff out there, which I've since applied to the channel. You'll have seen the channel change in various ways because of that. I've been looking how I can improve it, but yeah, most of the changes, or some of the changes, will have probably taken place because of that. Others just off my own accord of how I think I can improve it. So yeah, it's safe to say this channel has changed and definitely improved a lot over that time, but it's caused me to be very consistent. I obviously established my upload schedule because, you know, all these experts will say, you know, you've got to be consistent, you've got to be uploading twice a week or whatever, and it's caused me to get an upload schedule and just upload twice a week. And sort of over time, I've begun to get better and better at editing my videos, wanting to do more and more, give you guys the best viewing experience, and all that has meant I've been spending more and more time on this channel as the year has gone on. And sort of over these past couple of months, it's just got to a point where I'm like, I just want some free time. I want to do other things. You know, I want to play some of my favourite games. I want to play Animal Crossing New Leaf. I want to play Planet Coaster. I want to spend time with my friends and, you know, socialise more. So yeah, it just got to a point where I wanted to do other things than upload. So I really cut down my uploads, and this was kind of all of a gradual thing. It didn't just happen overnight. You know, it would get to a point where I'd start not uploading on time, or uploading videos a day late, or just replacing normal videos with shorts because they weren't ready. And then it started to get to a point where I ended up taking a week off YouTube a couple of weeks ago. And, you know, I sort of was putting stuff on my Instagram story just saying I wasn't in a good place. And yeah, I was just basically uploading less and less frequently until I took that week off, and that's the first time I took a week off since September. But the problem with all this, the flip side, you know, is the guilt of not uploading and the worry that it's going to affect my channel. And it hasn't, because I've been gaining more subscribers than ever actually during this sort of period over this past month. Like, we surpassed 300 subscribers a few days into the month, and we're now on what, 325 or something as I'm recording this. But these experts rub it into you. You know, you've got to be consistent. You've got an audience who are coming to watch you, and it's true. You know, YouTube's a serious thing in terms of that. Like, I care about you guys. I know you guys expect me to be here at certain times, or expected me to be here, which I'll get onto in a second. But you know, they're always like, you know, this audience are taking out the time out of the day to watch you, and they'll be waiting for you to upload, and this and that, and you know. But over time, that's sort of gone away, and I've sort of developed a different mindset on YouTube. And now, you know, I want to make content that you guys enjoy, and that's something that these experts rub in, you know. Keep into a topic that people enjoy, and I want to do that. But I also want to do YouTube my way and take some pressure off myself a bit, because that way I feel I'll enjoy it more. And, you know, that's the most important thing to me. What's the point of getting all these subscribers and stuff and views and building and growing my channel if I'm not going to enjoy it? So I took the decision to take the upload schedule out of my banner, the Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 PM. Those of you who've aren't like brand new to the channel or have seen that in the past, the channel art's been completely changed, or banner as I referred to it a second ago, and I've taken the upload schedule out, so I'm not strictly going to be sticking to that anymore. I am still, if I can, going to be uploading twice a week, but the bottom line is I'm back now. I want to produce better content than ever, but I'm going to do it, you know, when I feel like it. And that way I'll be able to put my heart and soul into it, and I just feel that you guys will enjoy it more that way, rather than me trying to, you know, upload every Wednesday and Saturday for the sake of uploading every Wednesday and Saturday, if that makes sense. So although videos might be once a week, I'm going to aim for twice a week if I can. But as I said, you know, I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but at least once a week there's going to be some really good stuff coming out for you guys, and I want to make it unique. I want to make it funny. I want to make it the way that I want. You know, I'm going to continue all the stuff that people like in my videos. The editing style isn't going to change so much. I'm just going to, you know, continue developing the skills that I've learned over the past year. I wanted to use this video as an opportunity to address this, because obviously 2 weeks ago, as of when this video will be being uploaded, I uploaded a video touring a Thorpe Park recreation in Minecraft Java. The day that video was uploaded, Josh from Theme Park Mad, Ed from Inverse Thrills, and Ellis Grayson were all at Thorpe Park. And in that video, I basically did this whole over-exaggerated dramatic section where I was basically acting quite mad that they'd gone without me, and I'm not going to lie, it did get to me, obviously, that I couldn't go to Thorpe Park with them. I was a bit upset about it, and I referred to it throughout the video, but I think that video definitely sort of annoyed the people mentioned of it, and obviously Danielle from Theme Park Mad was there as well, because I think it's safe to say that it does definitely not reflect the situation accurately to how it panned out. It does make it out a bit as if, you know, they sort of just went without me. I mean, I can't remember if I mentioned in the video whether they asked me if I wanted to go or not. I think, from what I remember, I've not watched the video since it came out. I basically just said, you know, they've gone without me and I'm very angry about it, or something along those lines. And it clearly didn't come across very well, because you'll have seen that Josh from Theme Park Mad did leave a comment on that, and I responded to it explaining the situation. I was asked whether or not I could go to Thorpe Park, but for various reasons I couldn't go, and you know, the trip got booked and Josh, Danielle, Ed and Ellis just went on it. I made that video, that segment of the video, and all sort of those jokes and stuff for entertainment purposes, but I can see how it could be, you know, taken the wrong way. So I just wanted to mention that. So yeah, don't go attacking them about it. But as much as I was acting out in that video, it definitely made me feel down, just because Thorpe Park is a massive bucket list park for me, and you know, I felt like I was missing out on a lot. And by the sounds of what Ed and Ellis now think of the coasters at Thorpe Park, I did miss out a lot, because they're Icon traitors, them two now. You know, it's all Stealth's better than Icon, the Swarm's better than Icon, which is fine because it's their opinions, but the Swarm and Stealth are clearly very good coasters that I haven't got to ride yet. Obviously, the Euros happened, and I'm not a big fan of football for several reasons. One of the main reasons being my disability, which makes football difficult to play. Obviously, I am disabled, I am visually impaired, and therefore football isn't easy. And there is actually blind football, which is an adaptation of football that is suitable for visually impaired people, but even then, I have actually played blind football in the past, but even then I haven't been able to get into football through that. So yeah, football's just not my thing. I think partly down to my disability and partly just because it doesn't interest me. And I don't understand all the sort of financial side of football, but what I do know is that players get a ridiculous amount of money for kicking a ball around, and I'm just not really a fan of that. So the Euros basically hasn't interested me for that reason, and the fact that I haven't been able to escape from it, and you know, it's coming home and all that, you know, it's just like I'm being surrounded by something I don't want to be associated with, and no one's stopping talking about it, and it, you know, it does, all that stuff does make me feel a bit left out and isolated, but at the same time I can't get into it, so you know, I can't try and get into it, if that makes sense, because I just can't get into it. Those of you who's in my Instagram and are friends with me will know that I said all along throughout that tournament I wouldn't be bothered if England got knocked out, and I think I did upset a few people on my story and stuff. I posted some stuff on my story that I probably wouldn't normally do about football, and this is on the ThrillNet account, because it just, by the time we were at sort of the semi-final, it was just getting me to me so much. You know, when the actual final match was on for football, you know, I wasn't getting sort of triggered by it anymore, because I knew this would be the end, whether England won or lost. Because, you know, I was always like, up to that point, yeah, if England get knocked out, you know, it'd be sad for the country, but it means, you know, I don't have this feeling anymore. But, you know, it's when it got to the finals, like, I don't care what happens. But yeah, of course, they did lost. And I did feel bad for my friends, because one or two of them who were into football were quite upset and down by it. So, you know, I did actually feel admittedly a bit sad when England lost in the final, not gonna lie. But yeah, that's sort of everything I have to say about football. You know, it got to me in the semi-final, I was getting really, really quite triggered by it. Because I knew if we won that, everyone would go mental, and they did. And obviously, we ended up winning it by luck. People are going to hate me for saying that, and it just really got to me. I upset a lot of people, I think, and yeah, it was just an absolute mess, that situation, and it has kept me down this month. And of course, the other thing I want to touch on in this video that's been getting me down a bit is just the community. I know I made a video about how much, I dislike the community, and I'm going to disassociate myself with it, but, and that hasn't been getting to me as much these past 4 weeks as it probably has in the last couple of months, but it's just, again, it's there, and, it's all this, we've got to come together. Like, I just think it's all naive. Just because people like theme parks doesn't mean they share the same values. Just find a friendship group and stick to it. There's no need for this massive community. Like, it's like a cult, it's like a school, you've got your popular people, your unpopular people, and it's like, everyone has to follow the same trends and like the same things, and yeah, it's opinions more than anything that gets to me. And people, and it's Twitter as well. Twitter is the worst place for it. People talking about every single issue of the life, and it's not just theme park enthusiasts, but Twitter is the most overused thing ever. Like, the world does not need to know about every single thing going on in your life. Like, sure, use it a bit, but I don't need it every 5 minutes. And honestly, like, hearing other people just moan about petty things and cancel people for petty things, I can't be dealing with that. And Twitter's just gradually getting phased out of my life more and more. And like, I'm sorry to say, but I just think that this whole community thing is getting worse and worse, if I'm honest. And yeah, like a couple of years ago, it probably wasn't as bad as it is now. And as much as, back then, I thought it was a good thing, up until sort of the end of last year, I thought it was a good thing. It definitely wasn't as bad back in sort of 2019 as it is now from my experiences. But yeah, that's a separate video. Click the link in card in the top right to go and check that one out. I don't want this video to make it out like I have a lot of serious issues going on in my life, because really I don't. I've just had a bit of a down period, Overall, I'm well, I'm healthy, as much as I have chronic kidney disease and have had to have a kidney transplant. I'm at high risk from COVID, and I'm visually impaired. I'm doing all right, I'm definitely improving mentally. And yeah, there's just been a bit of a blip lately, and I wanted to just, use this video to get across to you guys. Everyone's issues are valid, Don't go and tell people to just deal with things, because that's the worst you can do. But at the same time, I don't want to be someone who attention seeks and makes things out to be worse than they actually are. And I feel like I've given a good picture of what it's like in this video, and that being a theme park YouTuber isn't always the easiest thing. We have problems in life like everyone else, and our subscriber count doesn't determine our happiness. And I hope I've got that across to you in this. And there's just, it's little things as well, like COVID's getting worse at the moment, and me being at risk despite having been vaccinated. I'm still at quite high risk. That scares me a bit. They've eased the restrictions this month, and as a vulnerable person, that scares me. And the fact I'm going to university in like 2 months, it does scare me, not gonna lie. Like, I'm looking forward to it, but it's a scary prospect, especially having been stuck inside for a year. But anyway, click the icon at the bottom of your screen to subscribe. Click the video on the right side of your screen to go and watch my latest vlog from Blackpool Pleasure Beach late night riding, because we had a brilliant time there. I'm Ben, you've been watching ThrillNet. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.